In the quiet corridors of time, some stories linger, waiting for the light of truth to pierce their shroud of mystery. One such tale is that of Maritza Glean Grimmett, a young woman whose life was abruptly halted, leaving questions that would span over for decades. Today, we delve deep into the enigmatic disappearance and subsequent discovery of Maritza, exploring the intricate web of relationships, investigations, and the relentless pursuit of justice that finally brought closure to a 42-year-old cold case. Maritza Glean was born in the vibrant landscapes of Panama. Raised in a warm, close-knit family, she was known for her kindness, intelligence, and resilience. Growing up in the 1960s, her childhood was filled with the typical joys and struggles of a young woman coming of age in a country undergoing economic and political changes. In 1978, seeking new horizons, Maritza married a United States Marine, a union that would soon lead her to the United States. The couple settled in Columbus, Ohio, where Maritza worked part-time while adjusting to life in a new country. Later, they moved to Millington, Tennessee, near a naval air station, as her husband's military duties required relocation. However, their marriage faced challenges. Those close to Maritza recall subtle signs of distress, late-night phone calls with family, occasional bruises that she attributed to accidents, and a growing sense of isolation. The couple's relationship deteriorated, culminating in a divorce that left Maritza in Tennessee, while her ex-husband moved westward to California. In the early 1980s, Maritza decided to reconnect with her past, expressing intentions to visit her ex-husband in California. Friends and family were puzzled by her decision, as she had never spoken fondly of him after their divorce. But Maritza insisted it was something she needed to do. She boarded a flight from Tennessee to California, landing in Los Angeles International Airport. She called her sister, letting her know she had arrived safely. It was the last time anyone in her family would hear from her. Months after Maritza's arrival in California, a shocking discovery was made in Lake Forest. Hikers in a remote, wooded area stumbled upon skeletal remains, partially covered by debris and brush. Authorities were immediately called in, and an investigator determined the remains belonged to a young woman, likely in her late 20s or early 30s. She had been deceased for an estimated 6 months to a year. The cause of death was undetermined, though signs of trauma suggested foul play. With no personal belongings or dental records available to make an identification, the case went cold. Maritza's family, unaware of the discovery, continued their desperate search, unaware she had already been found, but remained nameless in a coroner's office. Over the years, law enforcement exhausted leads. Maritza's ex-husband, now remarried, denied any knowledge of her whereabouts. He and his new wife lived in the same area where Maritza's remains had been discovered, a mere 3 miles from the El Toro Marine base where he worked. Authorities found this suspicious, but there was no direct evidence linking him to the crime. With no DNA testing available at the time, the unidentified remains stayed classified as Jane Doe, and Maritza's case remained open but inactive. Fast forward to 2024, a resurgence in cold case investigations led to the re-examination of old forensic files. The unidentified remains from 1983 were selected for modern DNA analysis, cross-referencing them with missing persons databases. After weeks of meticulous testing, a match was found: Maritza Glean Grimmett. The news was both a breakthrough and a heartbreak for her family, who had spent decades wondering what had happened to her.